Alright, so you started your tournament. You have players signed up on the sign-in sheet. Now it's time to start putting those teams into the bracket. You're going to navigate to the Participants Page and start adding teams. It's as easy as just typing the name and hitting enter, or adding team by clicking this button here. You can add players to teams. What I would suggest is during this process, this is usually a hectic time, you're right about to start your event, just get the teams in and then start the tournament. You can add players to teams at any point, but say you get some guys showing up early and you can put them in. Either you can pull them from the database, which is this box down at the bottom, so let's find myself. It'll show their first name, last name, and where they're from. So if there's multiple Kenny Terrys, maybe I know it's me because it's La Mesa instead of New Jersey. So click that, add them to team. So you can add and remove players at any point. So say I decide I don't want to play in the tournament any longer, you can remove me by clicking this button here. You can also add players to the database by picking the team and using their first, last name, and email from the sign-in sheet. So just do Kenny, test, and test at Gmail. And you hit enter, and it'll add them to a team. It'll also add them to the database. Bear in mind that they're going to have to activate their account. They're going to get an email as soon as you add them to the database. Mention that to them. Let them know that they're going to get one email. It might go to their spam folder, and to activate their email through their mobile phone. Another thing is saving space for team. So this is the save spots, so if any teams show up a little bit late, you can add them to the tournament. What I normally do, however, is I don't use this, and instead I use buys, just because I feel like it's easier to control. And say I start a tournament at 10 p.m. At 10:30, I'm going to forfeit out all the buys. So if anybody shows up late, you can come in here and change the team name. So instead of buy one, this team wants to be called Ramrod. All you have to do is replace the name there, hit save, and this will pop up. That means it happened. During this process, you can also remove teams by just clicking this X here. As simple as that. I think it's important to mention that every team doesn't have to have a player on it. Actually, the majority of your teams probably won't have players on it because they're unknown, not in the software. That's not a problem. So it's going to take their rank as 500, and it won't affect the ranks of others because they're unknown players. We don't know if they're the best player in the world or if they're just somebody that's off the street. Another thing I really quickly want to go over, there's going to be another video for this, but dummy emails. Dummy emails are used for basically multi-partner tournaments right now, but it's when you do require to have a player on every single team. What a dummy email does is you don't need the email any longer, so you can just put in their first name and maybe a last initial, and it'll create a user that will get deleted after a week. However, it makes a unique account, so you can have that user be on two different teams, and it'll split into the separate brackets correctly. Once you finish putting in all the teams, everything's ready to go, hit start tournament.